Also, these glyphs come from a time when the Earth was considered at the center. Now there's a big question when you're dealing with the zodiac about the two different kinds of zodiac. There's a tropical zodiac and a sidereal zodiac. And the dates for each do not coincide. They did several thousand years ago, but because of the precession that I described earlier, one of them is shifting. So, still we say that the first day of spring, this year's happening on March 20th, is when the sun comes to 0 degrees of Aries. Well, the sun is not among the stars of Aries on that day, and it hasn't been for a while. It's still in the stars of Pisces. In quite a while yet, it'll be quite a while yet before it gets to Aquarius. This is the precession that's happening. It takes about 1,400 years for the cultural consciousness of humanity to catch up with the shift that's taking place in the cosmos. So if you don't get it right now, it's okay. You don't want to get hung up on it. Dates are a big deal. Beginning of last year, did everybody hear about this man, Park Kunkel? He was a professor at a college, community college maybe in the Midwest. Because of Facebook and Twitter and email and texting and everything, he announced that all the zodiac signs were off, and there was this big crisis there. Oh no, I thought it was an Aries, and now I found out it was Pisces. And there was no real good explanation in the mainstream media about what it was. And you know, anybody who studies astrology knows that they've been off for a long time. And also that the constellation Ophiuchus, which he said was this, you know, astrologers don't even pay attention to this. Well, it has been known for thousands of years. Ophiuchus is the healer. He also is a resurrector of the dead. It's an open mystery, and it's hidden. So he's on the back of the Scorpion, which is the realm of the underworld. And it has been known since the time of Ptolemy that the sun moves through that region. Longer, actually, than it does move through Scorpio. It'll take us too far afield. I'm happy to share that story later if you want. But it can be very unsettling to think, well, which one is right? And when I asked Hazel Straker, the associate of Lily Supers, which one is right? She said, they're all right. They're all correct. So, incongruity and being comfortable with it. So what I'm going to show you is the vernal equinox as though it's starting with Aries, because when the Earth was considered at the center and these glyphs for the zodiac were created, that's as it was. So it lives deeply in us. And we'll shift it around tomorrow after we've had a good night's sleep. So I'm going to start with Cancer. So the understanding is that when the sun reaches Cancer, it's at its solstice point, standing still. Solstice means the standing still of the sun. It's the moment of total or full out-breath. There's a slight pause before the in-breath happens again, pause, and then an out-breath, and a natural rhythm of breathing. This pause in our breathing is the solstice point in the cycle of an earthly year. So when you look at this particular glyph, what you see, this is as though the substance or the seed that the human being has created or cultivated out of life experience, that then at the full out-breath is being offered up to the spiritual cosmos, to the sun for fructification, you could say. And that the spiritual world will only bring toward the human being what the human being is capable of. So it's an exact mirror image of what is offered, so shall we receive. If it's like this, then you're offering this much, so much so you receive. If it's like this, I suggest it's somewhere in there. You can try to grab too much of that. But it's, so this is an exact image. What the human being offers, so shall the human being receive. And then in Leo, you can see the beginning of the formation of this seed that is striving earthward. It's not yet embodied by the human being, but it's beginning to form. And it's still reaching now. This is when the sun is coming back toward the celestial equator. With Virgo, we have the image of the pregnant virgin. Now, this seed is fully embodied, and it's coming toward the earth. Rudolf Steiner says that you can actually, this image still appears when you imagine or try to work intuitively into the constellation of Virgo, that you see this pregnant virgin holding this seed within herself that is conceived here. Carl Koenig gave every year, I think, a lecture at around the time of summer solstice in St. John's, and said that this seed is actually related to the coming year. So that this year, 2012, was actually conceived at summer solstice 2011. If you don't keep a journal, you should. And always look back and see what was going on at summer solstice that might relate or reveal the mood of this year that I'm in now. I always try to pay attention to the dreams that I have at that time. Oh, here's my St. John's dream that has this mystery of what's coming in the next year. So we have human being offering the seed to the cosmos that receives fructification, then striving to bring it earthward while also striving to embody it, and then this embodiment in Virgo. Then landing on the earth. Day and night are of equal length. At Libra, this is regarded as the scale, so the point of balance, and the sun is setting. So day and night are of equal length with the sun setting across the celestial equator. Then, when we come to Scorpio, it looks somewhat like Virgo, but with its arrow indicates that there's an attempt to penetrate the physical material world in this imagination on the traditional glyphs of the zodiac. Sagittarius, then, is a straighter arrow, whereas with Scorpio, you have this almost like trying to move into the material world. Sagittarius is through the material world with this. For me, that line indicates I've crossed over the threshold, out of the spiritual world, right into the physical, right into the earth. Capricorn, then, is as though an opening. It has this, I've kind of drawn it on the side, it looks like this. It's as though the earth is now opening up to receive this seed. So this seed that was fructified by the cosmos, and the human being is striving to carry it to the earth and offer it to the earth at the winter solstice. Just as at summer solstice there was an offering to the spiritual cosmos, at the winter solstice, so the full in-breath and the pause, there's this offering of this light-imbued seed to the earth. And then the earth responds. Typically in Aquarius, these, I've got it going on the side, that's typically regarded as waves. But I would suggest that this is the response of the earth to what the human being has brought to it, and the jagged edge indicates that you're in the physical world. The rounded edge, the rounded nature of Cancer is up in the cosmos, whereas trying to penetrate the earth brings about this need, this jaggedness. And then we come to Pisces. Pisces, which has this human being looking face to face at itself, having witnessed itself above and below the horizon. It's the saying of St. Paul from the book of Corinthians. Now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Then shall I know, even as also I myself am known. So seeing myself above the horizon and below the horizon. Encountering that Pisces is always regarded as a very spiritual sign, where all of it comes to completion and resolution. When we move across the celestial equator going north, we come to Aries, which is now, I've taken this seed. You could start anywhere on this cycle. I chose to start with Cancer. This seed, it's light imbued, bringing it all the way, offering it to the earth. The earth responds. I have an encounter with myself, and then we begin to offer that up again. So this is sprouting up out of the earth that happens with Aries, this becoming. And then in Taurus, my seed, now this seed is imbued with life forces from the earth, and it's reaching heavenward. And I, just like in Virgo, where the seed that was fructified by the cosmos is embodied and carried to the earth, the seed that I'm carrying from the earth that I would give to the cosmos has to be embodied. In Gemini, it has these earth forces reaching the cosmic forces, and the human being cognizant of self both above and below the horizon. is the one who brings it. So this is just an imagination on the traditional glyphs of the zodiac, which I offer for your sleep and your dreams, so that we can get more into the new images of the zodiac that belong to the original calendar of the soul tomorrow. Because they're quite a bit different than these, although this lives behind them. And it's good to have an understanding of this in the cycle of the year. Also, we're coming up to vernal equinox, which will be on March 20th. And then there's a new moon just a couple days after that. And then the vernal full moon will happen on April 6th and Easter Sunday, April 8th. Before you have a birthday. I enter the Jupiter sphere. So this was a lot of content and a lot of information, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and even if you wake up with them tomorrow morning, it's okay to ask. Hopefully I didn't overload you with too much, and just to give you some seeds for good dreaming and good sleeping.